it's exciting to be back over here in Germany. Like I was telling some of the players last night from Calhoun, it's great to see how football has grown since I came over here in 1995. Okay, so I mean, that just tells me that you guys are doing a good job. You guys are going out to get the knowledge, to tell the players to for them to become better players, and then football as a whole becomes better in Germany. And now we have a lot of American coaches are looking into Europe going, damn, we need that guy, or we need that guy. And so that's really exciting to see. Again, so I started my company after I finished playing here in 2003, went back to California and wanted to get into coaching. So I started coaching high school football, but before I left to play my last season, I was in the gym working out with my conditioning guy, and in that gym with me was a high school quarterback. So after I would lift, I would always go out and throw, because it's important, okay, for a quarterback, when you're lifting upper body, if you don't go out and throw, your muscles lose the memory of how the motion is, okay? So the father in there saw me throwing the football and said, hey, could you show me, or could you show my grandson, my son, okay, some of the quarterback things that you're doing? Yeah, no problem. So I worked with him for 3 or 4 months, and then I came back to Germany to play my last year here, and this high school quarterback named Derek Shaw played his season and ended up becoming the #1 high school quarterback in the country. So his father said, hey, I think you found what you should be doing, okay? You should start a company training quarterbacks. So once I finished my season, the last season here in Essen, went back to California, talked to my brother, coaching high school ball, and I started my company called Armed and Dangerous. Okay, so that's how it kind of came to be. Quarterback coaching is a $200 million a year business. 200 million. I don't do it for the money, but there's a lot of people that do. And there's a lot of people out there that are teaching things that I necessarily don't agree with, okay? But that's nor here nor there. So I'm gonna just get right into it. Now these are all things that I believe in, okay? So like Chris talked about, oh, just the arrow, right, perfect, okay. Okay, so the first time when I see a quarterback holding the football, I'm looking for his grip, okay? I believe that only one finger is actually on the lace, which is your ring finger, okay? It should be in the second slot, okay, of the laces, okay? Because that's going to create fingertip pressure. Okay, I want to grip the ball with my fingertip and not with my hand, okay? Because how the ball spins is with the wrists, okay? It's not the arm, not the shoulders, it's with the wrists and the fingers. How hard you can snap your wrists, okay? And that's what makes the ball spin. So if you have your laces, these are the laces, and your hand, your fingers are too far over the laces, okay, the ball it sits back in your palm, okay? And now if I'm telling the quarterback to what we call pronating your thumb, if the ball is too far back in your hand, the ball won't spin correctly, okay? So if somebody back here was throwing the football this way, okay, how it spun, where it went, I could tell him what he did right and what he did wrong, just by what the ball does, okay? Because everything makes a difference on how you throw a football, from how you stand, how you transfer your weight, okay, all these different things, okay? So when I get a quarterback, I talk to him basically starting at base position, okay? Well, we'll start where the feet shoulder width apart, the ball's gonna be up in what I call the shelf, okay? Who in here trains left-handed quarterbacks? Anybody have a left? Nobody has a left-handed quarterback? Shit, this is gonna be easy. Somebody gonna have to say, hey, left-handed quarterback can do this, right-handed. Oh shit, this is gonna be easy. Perfect. So we're starting at base position, okay? Feet shoulder width apart, the ball's gonna be up on the shelf for the right front shoulder. Okay? I call your left shoulder camera 1, belly button's camera 2, your right shoulder's camera 3. And I tell my quarterback, when you're throwing the football today, I want you to take a picture of your target with all 3 of your cameras. Okay? And that's gonna force the quarterback to rotate his shoulders. Okay? So at the end of a workout, okay, whether it's for an hour and a half or 2 hours, his arms should not be tired. It should be his hip flexors from pushing into his throw and his abs from rotating. Okay, if his arm is tired, he's not throwing the ball correctly. Okay, so the next thing, from base position, okay, we want to rotate to camera 1. We always want to start our throw here. Okay, so if the football is the bullet, okay, when you're not using your legs to help you throw, your left hand is what I call your trigger. Okay, and I use the analogy of blocking a punch. So if I'm boxing somebody like this here, and somebody throws a right hand hook at me, I'm taught to block it this way. Okay? The quarterbacks use the exact same movement, okay, to start their delivery. Okay? So I use that analogy, block to punch. So all the terminology, all the words that I use, they're visual things that the quarterbacks can see. Okay? Everybody's seen boxing, everybody's seen, okay, how to block the punch. Okay? And so I'm always thinking about creative words, okay, that the quarterbacks or this generation can see. Because I believe they learn better by seeing and not necessarily hearing. Okay? So I always want to give them buzzwords, okay, like Chris had mentioned, to understand what I want them to do. Okay? So when you block the punch, okay, now your right arm, I want it to lift. So I use the analogy bicep to ear. Bicep to ear. Okay? So if you ever have a quarterback throwing with a low delivery, his elbow's low, okay, I use a bicep to ear. This. That'll force him to lift his elbow. Okay? So as the left arm starting blocking the punch, it should never stop. It should never stop. Okay? And the fact that the left shoulder is connected to your right shoulder is going to pull your right shoulder right to your target. Right? So the first part is blocking the punch. Second, bicep to ear. Then the third part is extending out towards your target. Okay? The ball follows your arm. Okay? There's no magic secret why the ball goes high, low, right, or left. That's just where your arm is moving and letting the ball go. Okay? So if the ball, you want the ball to go that way, I want to extend my arm this direction. I don't agree with, I hear quarterback coaches back at home talk about you should bring your right thumb to your opposite pocket. Okay? That means the arm moving in this direction. Okay? So how can we throw the ball consistently that way if the arm's moving this way? Okay? So if there's my target, if I'm shooting a gun, it's right there, why would I do this? And try to hit it there every time. I'm gonna do like this. Okay? So as long as your shoulders rotate, okay, here, your arm can go that direction. Okay? So the big thing for me, what I've been really coaching up is the extension of your throw. Just extension. Okay? So I don't want my quarterbacks to do this when they're throwing the ball. Okay? So my arm came down, okay? Because that would cause the ball to go this way. I'm not throwing the ball down. I'm throwing the ball this direction. Okay? So once my arm extends all the way out, it cannot keep going that direction. It's naturally going to come down. Okay? So the quarterback shouldn't pull the arm down. Okay? Gravity is going to pull it down. Okay? So you'll see. Oh shit! This is not my stuff, but we're going to work. So this is Terrell Pryor. Okay? So when I got Terrell Pryor, he was second year with the Raiders, okay? And he could not throw a football. I was like, how did you play so well at Ohio State and get drafted so high in the NFL, and you really don't understand how to throw a football? Just naturally pick it up and throw it. He couldn't do it. Okay? But he was such a great athlete, he could compensate for that. Okay, so when I got him, I had to break it all down. Start with his grip. You can see.
Teil.
Yes.
That's the reason why I played wide receiver on Cleveland.
Hold on, I'm gonna get to that. I got a great story about it. Not because of me. I got a good story about it. Okay, I'm gonna keep talking. Right, so as he's throwing, okay. Anyway, but the best thing about it, I have a couple of quarterbacks here, so when we get in the gym, you're gonna actually be able to see it live, not only on video, but you'll be able to see it live. Okay? So, as he's throwing, you can see his extension and how his shoulders start to rotate. Okay? So I was always really big on how can I get the quarterbacks to rotate their shoulders. Okay, so I would say block the punch, but how? But they would do like this and stop. Okay, so I start telling them, hey, width. Yeah, my man. Perfect. That's fine. Perfect. You see how he's lifting, extending his arm. And you can see how his camera 3 is finishing towards his target. Okay? Okay? So I want the upper body to be smooth. I don't want any tension. Okay? So I see quarterbacks have their elbows up like this. Okay, when they're setting up the throw. Okay? The ball's not heavy the last time I checked. Which you can hear. Okay? The ball's not heavy. Right? So I don't want any tension because when you talked about, you see guys running in track, Track coach is talking about being relaxed up top, okay? Because relaxed muscles move faster, okay? So you can see that there, okay? Yeah, so after we warm up from there, okay, we're basically just warming up the court, getting the quarterback to understand how the shoulders rotate, okay? Then the next part of it, okay, is we're gonna throw from platform. Platform for me is perfect throwing position, okay? So if I'm throwing the ball this way, okay, I want my feet just wide of shoulder width apart, okay? The ball's up on the shelf, okay? So anytime we do a drill, okay, when I'm training the quarterback, if the result of the drill is to set your feet, this is the position I want you to get back to, because this is where you throw your best football from, okay? Not like this, not like this, and not like this. It's always back here, okay? So, now that we're using our legs to help us throw, the football's bullet, the trigger now, okay, is out in front of your left foot, okay? And your left foot I call your GPS or your navigation. I should know exactly where you're throwing the football based on where your left toe's pointing, because we always step to our target. So that's your nav, okay? So I don't agree with telling the quarterback, okay, how far to take a step, okay? So I hear back at home, okay, hey, take a 6-6 step, 6-inch step, 6-inch step. If I have a quarterback who's 5'8", and I'm 6'3", we cannot take the same stride step, okay? Because all the power is created from your base. So if I take a 6-inch step, I'm here, and I create no power, okay? So I don't agree with that coaching point, okay? So I believe that your body should move in 3 sequences, 3 movements in order to throw a clean ball, okay? So the first part of the sequence, you're gonna hit the trigger with your GPS, which would be this, 1, okay? And you have to take what I call an L step, okay? This would be your back foot, this would be your front foot, okay? Because once you get your hips open, it doesn't matter how hard you push weight to your front foot, you're gonna finish with balance. If you have balance, then you have accuracy, okay? So that's the first part of the sequence, is to hit the trigger. This is 1. The second part of the sequence is blocking the punch, and to get the left arm to continue to move, I tell them to touch the wall, okay? So this is the wall behind me, so with this forearm right here, once they block the punch, they try to touch the wall, the other shoulder moves. That's where my target is, that's where my right arm is. That's the second part of the sequence, okay? And the third part of the sequence is bicep to ear, and then extend all the way out. And once you extend, you gotta snap your wrist, okay? As hard as you can. The harder you snap your wrist, the ball will respond and spin tighter, okay? So as you snap your wrist, this is your finish, that's your follow through, okay? I call it making a C. So when your arm comes down, your thumb and your index finger should hit your right inside pocket, okay? And that's gonna force the arm to go straight. If it finishes here, across, okay, the ball's gonna be moving this direction, okay? So, and I got that sequence, okay? I was watching Major League Baseball, okay, just this past summer, okay? And there's a guy named John Carlos Stanton, okay? And he's hitting 500-foot balls out of the damn stadium, right? And the ball's coming, and he's doing like this. And I said, damn, we use the same muscles as a baseball player. They have to create energy with the legs, hit the trigger, okay? All the energy's here, start to rotate, which would be blocking the punch, okay? And then they rotate through, okay, to take the energy, okay, to put it on the ball to hit it out the park, okay? And I said, man. And so if I have a quarterback, that's the most important thing. You have to get to know what your quarterback likes besides football, okay? So whether he's a hockey player or plays baseball, you can use different coaching points in other sports to get them to do the movement, okay? So I had a baseball player, okay, and I said, hey, throw me in football, but he used to pitch, so he used to do like this. And I said, no, I want you to keep your left foot closer to the ground, because this takes too long, okay, to get your foot down and start to throw, okay? And I said, okay, how can I get him to understand it? And I said, okay, if there's a runner, okay, on first base, okay, they don't take a high leg kick, they do what they call a slide step. Is this, okay? So they can get the ball to the plate, to the catcher, so they have a chance to throw the runner out. Okay, so as soon as I said, okay, if a runner's on first base, what step would you use? He said, oh, coach, I would take a slide step, this. And I said, perfect, that's it. Okay, so you really have to get to know your quarterback, because again, you can use different, okay, from hockey to basketball or whatever, different coaching points, okay, to get them to understand your movement, Okay? So, right? Right. So from platform, okay, you'll see. Oh, there it is. Okay. I don't want to hurt $1 million quarterback because he steps on the football. Okay. So you can see him stepping, see him rotating the shoulders. That's the only ball I ever dropped. I always want to start the perfect throw position. Okay? I want you to see his extension. Okay? And again, I'm just teaching them how to throw. Okay? So his release point is not consistent. Okay?
Oh, nice catch.
Oh, you dropped it again.
So, the sequence, okay? In order to get the body to do the sequence, the 1, 2, 3, I do what I call walking into your throw. Okay, so if I'm facing my receiver here, okay, I have them step with their right foot, okay? Because they always want to get back to this position, because this is where you throw your best ball, okay? But quarterbacks do it all the time when they're before practice and they're doing like this here. Did you see the last show about the Kardashians? Oh man, I love the Kardashians. Right? And they're just actually walking into their throw. But okay, what they're doing, not even knowing, okay, is they're actually dialing in their sequence. Okay? So they'll start with their right foot, they'll let their shoulders close, they'll hit the trigger, block the punch, lift, extend. The most important thing for me in that sequence is you have to hit trigger before your hands split away from the football. Okay? Because if they split at the same time, the left foot and your left hand, the energy can't come through the chain, okay? You have to put your foot in the ground to get the energy to come here, start to rotate, okay, to get it to come out through the arm. The right arm is just a delivery of energy you create with your legs. That's it. And guys, the ball. It does not produce any velocity on the football, okay? I get parents all the time. How can I get my son's arm stronger? Do curls, triceps? No. Power cleans, core. That's what creates energy, okay? So, you can see Brandon here walking into the throw. And this is all in the mornings. We do all this stuff first before we actually get to any damn drill. You can see how he's hitting the trigger before his hand split. Okay? And I want him to remember how that feels, Finish. Hit trigger, punch, okay? So, things that are not muscle memory, okay? Things that are not muscle memory, you actually have to think about it if you want your body to do it, okay? Because if you don't think about it, your body's going to do what it's been doing year after year, month after month after month, okay? So in order to get the quarterbacks to do the movement that I want, I tell them they need to build themselves a mental checklist, okay, of things they need to think about. Okay. Build yourself a mental checklist of things you need to think about right before you throw. Okay? So the first thing I tell my quarterbacks, okay, I want you to think about your sequence. Okay, so as they're setting up the throw, they gotta be thinking trigger, lock the punch, lift the extend. Okay? If they're thinking about it, then their body's actually gonna do it. Okay? So as I go through a workout, I'm gonna add things to their mental checklist. Okay? For me, great quarterbacks are able to process information. Okay? And I've had an opportunity to work with a lot. Okay? Cam Newton. Okay? Russell Wilson. Okay? Nick Foles. And on and on and on. Had a great opportunity just through people who I met, actually just hooked me up, and I was able to work those guys out. And the one common thing, okay, to get off the subject just a little bit, is how hard they work and how passionate for being great. Okay? So I try not to use the word in my workouts good. Like, oh, good job. Okay? Great. Okay? Hey, great job. Because even if it's not great in the game, it's going to be really damn good, and really damn good wins games. Okay? So after we throw from platform, okay, and we walk into our throw, we start down in the sequence. Now we're going to have them, okay, throw the ball, simulate, throw the ball on the run. Okay, so they're set up, okay, with their right foot in front, and I want 90% of their weight on their front foot, 10 on the back. Okay? So the ball's here on the shelf, and again, since you're not using your legs to help you throw, okay, football's a bullet, left hand's your trigger. Okay, so you only create energy on the football through how hard you rotate your shoulders, because your legs are running. Okay? So we're set up here, rotate the camera one. I want you to throw and then step. What makes you go forward is you're pushing off your right front foot and bringing your left knee up and through, because I'm running down the field like this. Okay? I see quarterbacks doing like this here. They're off balance. I don't want quarterbacks to be off balance, whether they're throwing on the run or throwing from the pocket. No balance, no accuracy. Okay? So you can see. Okay, we see Terrell. He's a low first, bro, and then step. Right? And I always want them to finish towards their target. I never want the right leg, okay, when they step, to come across their left leg. They always want to finish towards their target. And it's all detail. It's detail. Okay? I want to coach everything about their delivery. Everything about their delivery. Right? So when the ball's coming out of their hand, I'm going to give them that coaching point so they know why the ball went high, low, right, or left. Okay? So if they call me during the season, okay? So Terrell calls me during the season, or whoever it is, and say, hey coach, I have a problem with the ball going high. Based on what I coach them to do, I can coach them over the phone on what they did mechanically. Because I've told them over and over and over. The ball goes high when you do this. Okay, the ball goes left when you do this. The ball goes right when you do this. Okay, so based on how the ball is moving, I can coach them over the phone. Okay? Okay, so now we're going to actually put it in the movement. Okay, so we've been isolating, working on just throwing and stepping. Okay, so then I want to get some movement into it. Okay, so you can actually see the actual movement. So I call it back pedal, attack, balls. Okay, so if I'm over here, I'm the quarterback, I'm my target here, I'm just going to have them back pedal nice and tall here. Okay, when I say attack, they're going to run towards me. When I say ball, it doesn't mean throw. It means, okay, if I'm going this way, you guys are all my targets, it means load the ball. So when I say ball, it doesn't mean throw, it means load. So they got to do this here. Okay, for at least 2 to 3 steps, because I want to make sure that the camera one always starts at their target. And then they can put it in the motion, okay, of how they're going to do it in the game. Okay? Time. And you can see, oh, where's my mouse? Sorry. Arm goes straight, ball goes straight. Is there a way to just make it just hit it? Oh my God, check it out. Man, I thought we're in 2017, we're in 1970. What the hell? Sorry. Let me show you one more time. So running towards the target and the arm extension, okay? And you can hear just a little bit the ball, okay? How hard the ball's coming, and that's just with their core, not even with their legs, okay? So when I'm training a quarterback, I break it all down, okay? From piece by piece by piece. So that process of this process that I'm talking about, okay, it takes between 30 and 35 minutes, because I believe every damn detail is important, okay? So, after we throw the ball on the run, we're going to do what we call gather steps, okay? If we're at the top of our drop, going 3 on time or 5 on time, okay, we want to isolate that movement from platform. So I have them stand here. I tell them I want to bring their left calf, okay, directly across your right shin, okay? I don't want any space in between, okay? Because when there's space in between it, it makes you guys can all see my feet, okay? If I bring my left, if there's space between my calf and my shin, when I bring my right leg, it'll stagger your stance here. Your feet will be like this here, okay? So then when you step and throw, you actually are closed off, and you have to throw around your front leg, okay? And then, like I said, when we get in the gym, you'll be able to see it all, okay? When we're going live, okay? And when at the top of your drop, those gather steps, you're not trying to get deeper, okay? You just want to be able to gather up and get the ball out. So when your feet hit the ground, okay, your feet should hit it like that. And you're hearing me talking about rhythm. Rhythm. I believe when you're playing quarterback, it's about rhythm, okay? So if you got a quarterback that ain't got no rhythm, it's going to be hard. You're going to have to teach them. Play music, right? Rhythm, rhythm, rhythm. You'll see, okay, a Tom Brady or Drew Brees, when they're dropping, it looks like ballerina, just like rhythm. It just doesn't look stiff. It's just really, really smooth. So I've talked to quarterbacks about rhythm, okay? So once I have them go gather steps to the front, I have them go gather, hitch, okay? So we're always isolating the parts of the drop, okay? I don't want them to take a 3 and throw. I want to isolate just the gather step. So that crossover plant, and then at the top of their mental checklist is their sequence. So I'll say, hey, what's on your checklist? Sequence, coach. Perfect. I want you to do gather steps, but don't forget about your checklist, okay? So then gather and start your sequence. Trigger, block the punch, lift and stand, okay? So then we'll go gather, hitch, okay? So now we're going 3 hitch out of gun, 5 hitch from under center, or 7 hitch, okay? And the important thing for me when quarterbacks are hitching, okay, is that shoulder level needs to stay quiet. I don't want the shoulders to tilt, okay? So if they do like this here, that tells me, as soon as I see the front shoulder drop, their right leg is outside their body, okay? So I want the shoulders to always stay level. And when you gather, you should gather right to platform. When you gather, you should put you right to the platform. Now you can hitch and throw all one direction, okay? So we're gonna gather hitch to the middle, gather hitch to the right, gather hitch to the left, okay? So we're gonna gather hitch to the right, okay? So I want him to start with his eyes down the field, and we're just isolating right at the top of the drop. Gather, hitch, and the ball. And I always want him to finish with balance, okay? He should always finish with balance. If he's off balance, okay, during the throw, and we're only going half speed, 60, 70%. If he doesn't have balance here, imagine when we start going live, right? So that's gather hitch to the right. This is gather hitch to the left. The important thing for me, okay, is I want the eyes to always come first. Okay? I'll say eyes precede your throw. If you don't see it, you don't throw it. You don't throw the ball blind. You just don't turn and start to throw the ball. Receiver could have fallen, okay, or what, you know. We don't want any unexpected deals to happen. Okay, if you don't see it, you don't throw it. Okay? Gather, hitch, oh. Arm goes straight, ball goes straight. Okay, so the next thing, and again, like I said, it goes step by step by step by step. So the first workout when I first get a quarterback is going to be a little bit longer because I have to teach them all the details of the right way to warm up and how I want them to do it, okay? So the next thing we're going to do is what I call the clap drill, okay? So my receiver's over here. I'm going to start, okay, facing the opposite way, but their eyes are on me. Okay, and the reason why we're doing this drill is because when a right-handed quarterback is rolling out to his left, if the defensive end contains this, okay, and forces us to pull up, we should flip our hips right to platform and be able to get the ball out. The quicker we can get the platform, the quicker we can get the ball out. Okay? So the coaching points on this is when they jump turn, both feet should hit the ground at the same time, right to platform. Okay? And understand that movement, it's a long movement. Okay? And so they need to allow themselves to balance up before they start their delivery. Because at no time during the workout do I want them to throw off balance unless we're working on something off balance drill. Okay, so you see that here? Okay, so get them, I just gonna clap, boom. Okay, and that's the signal. Get them to flip their hips, balance up, ball comes out. Okay, so now we're going to start to put that into motion. Okay, so I'm going to have them sprint across, directly across lateral. So if the receiver's down here, I'm going to have them sprint. Okay, and when I clap, again, that's going to simulate that the defensive end is forced to pull up, and they have to put into motion what they just did from standing. Okay, so I'll have them sprint to the right, which I'll show you here. Sprint across. You should get back to that position every time. Get back to the platform. Okay? And the eyes are down the field the whole time. Okay? Once again, have sprinting, clap, balance, bang, and the ball. Okay? And then the next one, we don't just roll out and sprint out only to our left. We roll out and sprint out to our right as well. Okay, so we have them go both ways. Okay, so when I started Armed and Dangerous, I was really big on how I wanted my quarterbacks to throw. I wanted them, okay? So 3 of my quarterbacks would go to a UCLA prospect camp, okay? And the quarterback coach could pick out my guys. That's a Calhoun guy, here's a guy, because they all look the exact damn same, okay? But as I've grown as a coach and start meeting different players who can still do, they can still make the ball go straight, okay? But maybe their elbow wasn't as high, okay? Maybe their arm came a little bit across, okay? And I can't tell them, hey, that's wrong. No, that's wrong. Ball's going straight, ball spinning, has not missed a throw the whole day, okay? And I'm going, no, arm's coming across, that's wrong, okay? I became like, okay, I gotta adapt. I can't just be like this inside this box. I had to start to adapt a little bit. Okay, so as long as you're getting the end result, okay, don't tear everything down. Like, this is a great building, okay? It's heat, got a roof, there's snow outside. Oh no, that light's wrong. Tear the whole shit down, okay, and put up another light, okay? Let's just replace the light, all right? So, okay, so after we sprint across, going right and left, now we're gonna work our line drops, okay? So I want to put their shoulders, okay, if the line's going this way, I want their shoulders, okay, to be directly on the line. Not the toes, but their shoulders, okay? So not only are we working on our drops, okay, but we're also working on throwing hot, okay? So if the wheel, the mic, the sound blitzes, we have to be able to gather up and get the ball out of our hands, okay? So we're working on 2 things here, okay? So in order for the shoulders to stay parallel, okay, your toes actually have to stay facing this direction. Even though the football field's here, the toes got to stay this way because your upper body wants to stay in front of your feet, okay? So if I start to drop and my toes start to point back this way, okay, you see how it closes my upper body, okay? And I always want to have full field vision. I want to be able to see, okay, the whole field because my front shoulder's here. So if I start to close, because my toes are pointing this way, okay, then I can't see to my left. And you will see it when you start having your quarterbacks do reps, you'll start to notice like, oh damn, you see how shoulders are dropping, okay? And so I talked to them about the scissors, okay, which their legs should move like this here. This is their left calf, this is the right shin. Scissors. Only way scissors can cut paper, the blades gotta come across each other, okay? So their legs should move like this here, and I use the analogy of cutting grass. Keep your feet as close to the ground as possible, so when you're ready to throw, okay, your feet are not high, and you get the ball out quicker. It's all about efficiency. Every level you go to, Okay? You got to get the ball out quicker and quicker and quicker because everybody becomes faster. Okay? So, let's see, it's here. Yes, we're down. Okay, so this is Jimmy Clausen. This is my first time working out with him. Okay, and you can see how his right arm's kind of coming across. Okay, but the damn ball's going straight. Okay, so I'm not gonna say, hey, Jimmy, bro, that's just wrong. Okay, oh, I'm gonna go this way. Okay, he is just good enough, even though his arm's coming across, he can let the ball go consistently right here. And if you can do that, let it go consistently, you're good. Okay, let's continue to work. All right, so I don't want to change. All the small things, even though I believe it makes a difference, but if they're doing it right, okay, then I'm not going to change it. So also, from that drill, we work on throwing hot, like I talked about, Will, Mike, and Sam, okay? So if you're telling your quarterback, hey, you're late with the ball, get it out quicker, okay? I tell my quarterbacks, I'm not talking to your arm, I'm talking to your feet, okay? Because the only way the ball can move, the bullet, is if you hit trigger, okay? So you just gotta speed up the process of gathering up and hitting the trigger. Okay? So if a quarterback feels late, he has to hit the trigger quicker. Okay? Feels blitz, quick trigger. That's the only way the ball can actually move. Okay? So don't talk to the arm, talk to the feet. Alright? So then we're gonna drop as a lefty. So now we did the clap drill, okay? And they're flipping the hips, so they already have that. Okay, in their memory bank. Okay, so when I clap, they're dropping as a lefty, still keeping their shoulders. So if I took my receivers over here, I'm dropping this way, still keeping them on my right side, bringing my right calf across my left shin. And when I do that, my feet come back even. Okay, and then when I clap, okay, they got to flip their hips, okay, as in using the clap drill, balance, and then throw. Okay. See his balance every throw. Once he's balanced, okay, then he's out. Quarterback is out. Okay? All right. So from there, and I figured out a progression of how I train quarterbacks. A progression. Okay? So if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm not gonna go 1, 5, 2, okay? It's all in the progression. And it doesn't matter if I have an 8-year-old or if I have an NFL quarterback. We do the exact same damn drills every time, okay? So from there, we're gonna do what I call open trigger step or gather step, okay? And we're just isolating the last turn and throw of your 3 on time or your 5 on time. 3 on time meaning there's no hitch. I would drop 3 on time, turn, and throw. So the open trigger step, I have them set up at the top of their drop, that platform, and if they're throwing the ball to their left, I'm going to have them do what I call posting their foot. They're going to take their right heel and turn it out. Okay, they're going to get the right heel. But like I said, you'll see it in the gym. Take the right heel and point it out. So the middle of your right shoe, okay, or your logo on the inside of your right shoe should be pointing towards your target. Okay, so we're going to set up. So by doing that, the right hip is already this direction, okay? So I want them to turn and throw the ball all one direction. So the reason why I call it open trigger step, because the trigger that makes the bullet move is over here, okay? So in the last year or so, again, I'm trying to get the quarterbacks, okay, to be more efficient at it, okay? So I started thinking about if I want them to throw straight this way, I'm gonna use the word throwing the ball down a hallway. Okay? Because the common mistake for a right-handed quarterback throwing to his left, they turn and throw at the same time, and the momentum ends up going this way. Okay? And you keep missing to your left. Okay? So they actually have to stop Okay, so when you think about throwing the hallway, so if I throw the ball to Andreas, and this is the hallway that connects us, as I set up right now, okay, my eyes and my camera one is not in the hallway, but my right hip is. The trigger that makes the bullet move is in the hallway, okay? So I gotta turn, stop, hit the trigger, and that forces the body to throw everything this way, okay? There's no difference if I did this and stepped to throw, or if I did this. You always get back to that position, okay? So after we go open trigger step, we just turn and throw, and then we'll gather to it. Again, isolate at the top of the drop. We'll gather, so we're gonna cross over, okay? I'm throwing to my left, post, turn and throw, okay? So I'm gonna show you guys this video. Okay, so he just did open trigger step, okay? And now he's gonna gather to it. About it right here. This is Mike Leonard from Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Again, really. Okay, so Mike does something as far as throwing that I don't agree with, right? He collapses his arms. He does like this way, okay? But he gets it back up here so quick. I'm not gonna say, hey, Mike, that's wrong, man. Stop doing it, okay? He's getting it back up. So I will talk to him about, hey, block the punch, okay? Block the punch, okay? And if he can do it, then we'll start to slowly make that transition, okay? So I train guys for the NFL, okay? For the NFL Combine, for the draft, okay? They give me 8 weeks to get them ready, okay, for the NFL Combine. So I go, I get all the teams' reports, like for example, Mike Leonard, okay, and they give me a report, okay, his feet are slow, his release is slow, big, strong arm, he's 6'7", okay, but he needs to work on this and this. So I get that report, and then I start to work on it, okay, I slowly start to break it down, okay. The best thing about all these guys, okay, they want to learn, okay. As a coach, I can't be intimidated. I don't want to tell him to block the punch. He's throwing a nice ball. Damn that, okay? So when you coach, okay, if it's not believable, okay, if you don't believe it, they won't believe it, okay? So when I say it, it's like Moses and the 10 Commandments, man. That's it. That's it. This is the law, okay? And that's how I'm going to say it, okay, with conviction and with passion. This is how you do it, okay? So I'm going to show you real quick. When we're talking about open trigger step and gather steps, you throw to different angles, okay? So I talk about throwing the ball around the clock. So here is my Hornby Neighbors clock. Okay? So, if I have my quarterback, okay, here at 12 o'clock, just say he's here, I just 12 behind me, right? If my target is here, my receiver's here, okay, I'm going to tell him to turn to 5 o'clock, okay? Because let's say the receiver does this, comes down and runs a slant here, okay? We don't want to turn to 3, okay? Because he'll be here and the receiver's up there, okay? So I'll say, hey, throw the ball to 5 o'clock, okay? And then I'll say throw the ball to 3 o'clock, okay? So if he's at 12, okay, 3's over there, he has to fully turn. Okay, so that gets the quarterback to understand how to turn in different angles. Okay? So if there's a swing route, quarterback's here, there's a swing route, you gotta turn here and throw. Okay, on rhythm. Okay? So I said we'll start at 3, then we'll go to 4, and I'm moving around the clock. To 5, so now it's going here. Now it's throwing just to the left of 6. Okay, then I move to 7, okay, to 8, to 9. Okay, so I have them throwing open trigger steps, so they'll start with their foot posted, they'll turn, throw to 3. And then they'll gather. Post, turn, and throw to 3. Okay? And then we'll go to 4. And I call it throwing around the clock because I have the quarterbacks throw in different angles so they get used to muscle memory, okay, of posting their foot to whatever angle the receiver's at. Okay? Throwing around the clock. Okay? Yeah. I'm sorry? Okay, perfect. Right now.
Yeah, now break and I will go to Zoom.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Ja.
Also, 15 Minuten.